Andrew Schulz questioned everything about Trump and the Epstein files.
I think what is enraging people right now is it's insulting our intelligence.
During a recent episode on his podcast, the comedian broke down the latest Epstein fiasco, calling out the Trump administration for giving people false hope.
They tried to promote this. Like they were building this excitement up for us to just get, I don't know, what is it? What is the term? Like the wind taken out of our sails?
That's why today we're covering it all, because we're not here to follow parties blindly. We're here for common sense. So if you're an independent thinker, hit that subscribe button and let's jump right into it.
Can we understand what's going on here? Because obviously this whole blackmail ring, that has tied in American presidents, Israeli prime ministers, the royal family. This is all allegedly, obviously. Now that we know that that is completely false and all these people were just good friends.
Yeah.
They were just like hanging out. Like Bill Gates going to like someone who has already been convicted of pedophilia, just going to his house to talk business is like a normal thing, right? There's no way that this is like some entrenched blackmail scheme, intelligence scheme.
Impossible.
That would be impossible, right? Because, if you're Bill Gates, like you would have so much to lose going to a pedophile's house.
Yeah.
Right?
So why would you do business with that guy?
Exactly. So he must be a big misunderstanding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay.
I don't know why they wouldn't just be like, yo, it's Prince Andrew. Because isn't he already besmirched? Right?
No, but now I think we got to forgive him. Like in all seriousness, that is, I think what is enraging people right now is it's insulting our intelligence. Like obviously the intelligence community is trying to cover it up. Obviously the Trump administration is trying to cover up. Something changed because they ran on this idea of exposing it all.
Exactly. The number of high-profile names tied to Epstein in some way is staggering. As the guys mentioned, Prince Andrew was stripped of his military title and royal patronages by Queen Elizabeth herself. Melissa Gates openly pointed to Bill Gates' ties with Epstein as a contributing factor in their divorce. And plenty of other well-known people have been called out for possibly being connected to him, too. What makes it worse is that many of the same people who told us they were going to uncover the full truth are now acting like there's nothing to see. They promised to bring everyone involved to justice, but instead, they're backtracking and hoping we just move on, which is a point Akash expanded on, saying that there are only two reasons for such behavior.
Maybe I'm wrong on this, but you keep talking about this Epstein. They keep talking about this Epstein list. I got the list on my desk. Now they're saying nothing happened. So one of two things, in my mind, is it possible. One, you're covering it up. Or two, nothing really happened and you exploited the rape of thousands of children to get your man elected. So which one do you want here?
They ran on it. They ran on, cleaning out the swamp. They ran on all these.
They brought all the influencers, gave them all binders with all the that was all redacted.
Do you remember this?
Yeah.
They tried to promote this. Like they were building this excitement up for us to just get, I don't know, what is it? What is the term? Like the wind taken out of our sails?
Yeah.
Whatever. So the fact that his tune has changed from, hey, let's have a social media moment with the binders to, you guys are still talking about this guy? Yeah, we're talking about it because of you.
Yeah.
You're the one that keeps the conversation going when you hand out the binders to the social media influencers.
Yep.
You're the one that keeps the conversation going when your
FBI director goes on podcast and says nothing happened, he killed himself.
There's definitely more to talk about here. If the official story is that Epstein only had Ghislaine Maxwell as an accomplice and that's the end of it, everyone who has pushed conspiracies should be ashamed of themselves. But if we think logically here, the DOJ memo that kicked off all of the recent backlash mentioned over 1,000 victims. That's a number way higher than what anyone admitted before. Unless we're talking about Genghis Khan or King Solomon, that just doesn't add up. I'm not throwing accusations, I'm just pointing out what doesn't make sense. Then there's the detail that Pam Bondi supposedly received a truckload of Epstein-related files. That alone raises more questions than answers. Andrew Schulz even brought up this theory that Trump's name could be in the files. But Andrew pointed out something others missed.
There's a version where it's like, because I've said this even before the pod, where it's the Democrats in the Biden administration had access to this, right? And if Trump was in it, this is like a piece of logic. If Trump was in it or connected, they would have used it against him. Like they used everything against him. They went after him for money. They went after him for, like the complete power of the justice system and any other system they had at their disposal, they used against Trump.
Unless your guys are also implicated.
I didn't consider that. I thought that Trump was clean from it because he had rallied against it so hard. He'd ran on it. All the people that he's hiring are people that are going after it and essentially promoting themselves on it, right? But there is a version where it's like, what is it? It's like a mutual assured destruction.
Yeah.
So it is nukes on everybody. So therefore, they're like, we could go after Trump with this, but by exposing Trump as part of this thing, it might expose all the other people or confirm that it is an actual blackmail ring. And once it's confirmed that it is an actual blackmail ring, we got to see how far this goes.
Once again, everything we're discussing is purely alleged. No one is confirming who is or isn't on the list. But this kind of speculation is exactly what happens when there's zero transparency. People aren't just asking for miracles, they just want the truth. How hard would it be to hold a press conference, own up to any mistakes, if there are any, and lay out the facts, plain and simple? At the very least, offer a genuine timeline and what steps are going to be taken for real accountability. That level of honesty would go a long way. Instead, we get half answers, heavily redacted documents, or pure gaslighting, which just fuels more doubt. At this point, Andrew went all in, dropping a theory that mixed real-life weirdness with wild imagination. And honestly, with how things are playing out, it didn't even seem that far-fetched.
Let's assume Trump isn't compromised. But the intelligence communities come to him and they basically say, this is us, this is what we do. There are a lot of people here that are going to go down if you out this. And the reality is you're not going to out this. And I would like to take this a little further. There's a version where the intelligence community comes in, they go, you don't really run the country. You get to make a lot of decisions, and that's fine. But you look the other way at the things we do, and we look the other way at the things you do. And then once the things you do cross paths with the things that we do, we remind you that you don't really run the country. And maybe that's what, and I'm not trying to give Putin credit here, but remember when Putin said that thing about like, every American president, what is it? Because every American president has these great ideas, and then once he gets elected, the real men that run the country, the men in suits, walk in and tell him what the deal is. So, and that wouldn't be that shocking to me, because the idea that like we have a new person running the country every 4 years or 8 years, and they plot the course of America for the next 300, is kind of absurd, right? Like there has to be some version of permanent government. Obviously, it's not established, and they're not like speaking about it, they're not shining a light on it. But like there must be some version of this permanent government that like maintains the course.
Now, one thing this whole mess is guaranteed to do is push even more people to distrust the system. And that number is already sky high. A Pew Research Center study from last year showed public trust in the government is at just 22%. For context, that number peaked at 77% under President Johnson and has been steadily declining ever since. And it's moments like these that leave people disillusioned, not just with a party or policy, but with the entire political class. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on this situation. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Keep on thinking.